due respect, he's also suffering from anal bleeding.
I'm dumb as fuck.
Can I have your attention, please?
I'm dumb as fuck.
Smart marks!
I'm dumb as fuck.
Easy, go home here!
Thoughts on it? Avid Cock Hunter.
The art of wrestling.
He's unstoppable!
The art of wrestling.
Number one contender.
The art of wrestling.
And there goes the big boy!
The art of wrestling.
Keep it up, my nigga!
The art of wrestling.
You're gonna have to deal with it.
The art of wrestling.
Suplex City, bitch! Me and my friend Mark, we're gonna start.
Ooh, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Arc of Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Greg. Joining me today, we got Jonesy. We got Mike.
Hello, goodbye.
And he's going on mute. We got Wesley.
Do you bleed?
Depends. We got John.
Do you think babies bleed?
They bleed.
Babies bounce.
They bleed marshmallows, John. Jesus. Read a textbook.
I wonder,
It's like-
drop a baby off a 3-story building, will they bounce?
It's like
I
t-shirt
mean-
breeding. It's just it's regular stuff, man. Come on, read a textbook.
Technically, there's probably a small bounce to it. But
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like that that thing you did in school where you put an egg inside something and try to drop it and see if it survives.
No, it's not.
would it count if they splattered and their guts kind of jumped a little bit?
No,
No, it has to be
No,
the
it has
full
to be
baby.
inside. It still
it has to be like a full baby bounce.
Well, I mean, let's try it on one of Hunter's illegitimate childs. Hey,
Find a
Hunter.
dumpster baby.
Yeah.
Greg, you know what?
That's implying that Hunter's ever
I
had
love
sex.
every
Oh, I guess that's
beautiful
right.
child I've ever made before.
Exactly.
What'd you say, Hunter?
Wow, you know what? Fuck you, Greg.
That's what you get for not listening.
And that's the Arc of Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for joining us. We're done. No, okay. So, we haven't done a podcast in about 2 weeks now.
2 weeks.
Trying to try out our new ordeal, yet we haven't been able to record those side shows for
Deal?
ordeal.
Deal.
We are still planning on recording a PWG DDT 4 show for you guys, as well as possibly covering Ring of Honor's Best in the World and a couple other shows that I do want to cover that are a lot more recent. But there's still a lot more topics we have to cover for today. Starting with TNA.
Is there, Greg?
There is Jonesy.
Okay.
Over the weekend, TNA had one of their big 4 shows of the year, Slammiversary.
Greg?
Yes.
How well did that go?
Put it this way. They had one of their only shows of the year.
Did they not have their cage show earlier this year?
Yeah, they had it on Impact.
Oh. Ooh, that's bad. So, this was a regular pay-per-view, though. This is a $50 pay-per-view that people had to buy.
I mean, you don't have to buy.
You don't have to buy it, but technically the only way to get it is through buying it.
Through legal ways.
Through
You can buy.
legal ways, yes.
Wait, I have an interjection onto this plan. You moved to England, where Challenge TV shows it on air for free.
But you pay for Challenge TV.
No, I don't.
Ooh, fucking swerve.
It's Freeview.
Swipe.
So anyways, they had Slammiversary this week, but that's not the biggest news story, because the biggest news story is actually what happened a few weeks ago, or at least a week ago, where Jeff Jarrett made his return to TNA. This was the big shocker. He came out on, I think it was last Impact or the week before, and pretty much announced that he's back to be a part of the King of the Mountain tournament.
Title match.
And he would also be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame.
Hall
So
of Fame. Hall of Fame.
this started an entire week of just shit hitting the fan for TNA. They announced a brand new title, which is replacing the television title. It is now the King of the Mountain title, which
will never be seen again.
Yeah, which will probably never be seen again because I think it would only be defended in King of the Mountain matches. But even then, who even knows if...
It's Slammiversary.
Yeah, and who knows because... Who even knows if TNA is going to last till after September? That's not even the biggest story. A lot of wrestlers started leaving. Just out of the blue.
Leaving.
Like gone.
There are air quotes there.
This year alone, the people who have left TNA, Taz, Sonata, Samoa Joe, Christy Hemme, alongside the people who just recently left, Samuel Shaw, Low-Key, and the big names, Magnus, James Storm, Gunner, Austin Aries, and now Bobby Roode. They are all, or at least some, headed to Global Force Wrestling. A couple of them, of the likes of Bobby Roode, have been announced for the Global Force Wrestling TV tapings that are happening on July 24th, which is the same day as the fucking PWG show. So fuck you, Global Force Wrestling. I don't give a shit about you.
I mean, that's not even a market challenge.
I know. Well, it technically is because it's about a 3-hour drive to Vegas for me, and it's a 2-hour drive to Rosetta. So the hour difference can make it a market difference if you were planning on going to Vegas that weekend or not. So for the California market, you would kind of take into consideration that it's kind of competition, but not really. The biggest news to come out of all these people leaving is that there's now an apparent rumor that there's an invasion angle being planned out for TNA Global Force Wrestling. John, what else do you know about this? Because there's been so much shit coming out.
I know the entire situation.
Alright, explain it to me.
So, TNA wants to mix things
up again.
up a bit.
Yeah.
And you do. That's nice. That's really nice and handy. So they've decided to do an invasion angle. GFW wasn't their first pick.
No,
Do you want me
they've...
to run...
I know they've reached out to Ring of Honor. Right?
Yes, they also reached out to Wrestle 1 again.
Really?
And
I don't know,
AAA.
why would you go after Wrestle 1? Anyways.
And CMML. CMML? That's not in there. CMLL. And kinda getting desperate when you go for CMLL. To be honest, if you're not New Japan.
Yeah, if you're not New Japan, but I'm guessing
is-
in some way they were expecting to hope for that New Japan crossover in some fashion.
Yeah.
With CMML.
CMML. But JFW is so far down the order of the promotions they wanted to invade them. And let's be honest here, JFW doesn't have a roster. It has people that won't appear on TNA television.
They
Young Bucks.
technically have a roster. If you go to their Global Force Wrestling homepage and you click the roster page, there is a roster that they have laid out. The thing is, none of those people, or at least some of those people, are not signed to a contract. The Young Bucks. They're booked for dates. Global Force Wrestling is going by if they're booked or not. So while they're still trying to get a roster set up, some people are signed, some people aren't. And I think the Young Bucks did an AMA a few weeks ago, and they said it. They confirmed that they weren't under any contract, that they're only working a few house shows. Because it's weird, because they're putting them up front in a lot of their promo photos that they release from time to time on Instagram. Which annoy the fuck out of me, too, because they spam that shit like crazy. I don't like when my Instagram is spam.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
No,
So,
Like, I love pictures of spam on my Tumblr dashboard.
yeah.
Spam?
Spam?
So with the news of a possible invasion angle, trying to spice things up before their contract or before the window for Destination America to ditch their TNA contract comes up in September. What do you? Because John, I think you're the only person here who's actually recently watched TNA.
I watched TNA as recently as yesterday.
As yesterday, and do you kind of want to go over what happened on this show? Because I believe it's some big news happened on that show.
Big news happened on that show. And by big news, I mean the Wolves won the tag titles again.
Did they?
Woo!
Yep.
Is Eddie back? Like, for sure?
Oh, yeah, no, they've been having a best of 5 series with Dirty Hills.
Really? That must be good.
Do you know who Dirty Hills are?
Yes. It's Rude and Aries.
Yes. But they had a 30-minute Iron Man match on Impact. Which was very good.
Yeah, that sounds fucking
great. And I guess also EC3 won the world title.
I guess.
Sorry, won the TNA title.
Yeah. He's been undefeated for 600 plus days now. Which is impressive considering how short-minded TNA is when it comes to their booking. So, finally, this is what people have been waiting for. EC3 is probably one of the most deserving people for that title, I would say, on that roster.
He is the most entertaining person on that roster.
Oh, yes. Excluding Rockstar Spud, though.
Rockstar Spud hasn't been on for a while.
Is he still signed?
Well, he's still signed.
Okay.
Just the X Division's not being used again.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's champion?
Tickle Uno.
Why?
Cause, bro, he's the future of TNA. Come on, man.
I guess.
I completely forgot he was signed before he won the title.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I usually forget about.
That's offensive.
Other things that happened, I would say, the Beatdown Clan defeated the Rising, which
and the Rising is permanently disbanded.
Which sucks because that was like one of the few stables that I actually liked, because it was Eli Drake, aka Sean Ricker, aka.
Don't worry, Greg. Sean Ricker will still be around in the future of TNA.
I bet. I got a gut feeling about that too. Camacho, who I cannot fucking for the life of me remember what his name is. Mika. There we go. And Drew Galloway.
PWG World Champion, Drew Galloway. Just watch. 2016.
2016?
2016, he beats Roderick Strong in a Full Metal Mayhem match.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know why I said that.
So, yeah, so, man, TNA is just... They had one ridiculous week.
Well, see, we're only mentioning TNA's TV side. We're not mentioning John Grubrick's never-ending fight with Dave Meltzer.
Oh, go over that, because I don't know the full details to that.
The full details is that Meltzer was reporting some of the releases.
Yeah.
And then Grubrick was like, no, we still have this person signed, we still have this person signed. Then Meltzer started reporting other backstage news, and Grubrick at every time would go, no, this isn't true. Fuck you, Meltzer. This isn't true. Fuck you, Meltzer. This isn't true. To the point where I think Meltzer recently said that when reviewing, I think, the main event of last week's Ring of Honor TV show, for someone in the TNA production office turned Destination America on at some point, and that match was on, and John Grubrick told him to turn that shit off.
Yeah. Man, don't you hate when bookers are just so close-minded like that? It's the worst possible outcome, because you know when they're close-minded like that, you're expecting for a company to fail. If you're a booker in that situation, you're not watching your competition, and you don't have any idea what's happening or what other people are doing, you're gonna fall flat on your face. I don't understand if Grubrick has any plans to salvage TNA before September.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, but with all these, guys leaving, and then they're coming back anyways for this invasion angle, it all just sounds bad. Jeff Jarrett winning
It
King of the
like
Mountain
Saint
sounds.
Russo would write.
I know, right?
Correction. He won the King of the Mountain title,
It doesn't matter.
which is essentially their TV title.
And
Yes.
they didn't do anything with their TV title.
The TV title's been missing for TV for a year.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be longer at this point.
This happened when they
When was Demon versus the Abyss?
No, man. They did this when
Yeah,
they
that's the last
first.
time I remember.
When
2013. It's been 2 years since the TV title's been on TV.
holy shit! Why? How can they not book a mid card title when you have a fucking roster full of mid carders?
Because the mid-card title's the X Division title.
But that's not. They don't have a lot of. They don't have a lot of X Division people who end up winning the World Heavyweight Championship in the first place. That's my whole issue with this thing. Like, there's so many holes. And then, did you hear the story about Dixie Carter retweeting fake TNA Twitter accounts?
Yes. That was the other bit I was going to mention.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Were those Twitter accounts run by the TNA production crew, or?
Wait, what?
So,
I don't...
a news story broke out a couple days ago that Dixie Carter was from Meltzer. That, of course, because Meltzer fucking knows everything. I love Meltzer to death. That Dixie Carter was retweeting fake Twitter accounts that were pretty much solely tweeting about how good TNA was. And they were made a few weeks to a few months ago. Like, some are even reported being made back in April. And it's just people praising TNA. Like,
So is she following TNA Mecca Twitter? Because they're pro TNA all the time.
I don't know. I cannot tell you that.
But
But
do you really need Meltzer to tell you that? Because I'm sure people have seen it.
well, probably. But
Guess I need Moses to tell me everything.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Here's some more news. Morale is said to be at an all-time low at the recent TNA wrestling tapings. Apparently, the Jeff Jarrett return didn't sit well with some, and the feeling is that the company kayfabed everybody on his return for no reason. Especially since he returned on the tape show, and the company was happy that the news got on Twitter. They still hid the return from production workers and the wrestlers and the rest of the crew. It was noted last week via Brian Furtz from Sports News that TNA production workers were told on June 25th that they would be paid for the last set of tapings until July 15th or later. Production was under the impression that they would be paid when they came in for the set of tapings. Wrestling Observer News Radio notes that there was more heat in trying to figure out which member in the staff leaked the story to Fritz than people being mad at the company for putting the production workers in this situation. So not only is TNA late on more paychecks, now people are mad that the stories are being leaked rather than actually getting mad at the company for not doing anything about paying the production workers.
Speaking of production, man, that production on Summerversary was top notch Sunday.
Oh, I heard it was so bad.
Hour?
The last hour was nothing but commentary cutting in and out.
I heard about that. That sounds
And electricity
terrible.
cutting.
Because they had Storm and Magnus in a unsanctioned match. And
Which was decent.
They went into the electronic area. Magnus kicked over a box, and the power went out. Power comes back on.
Magnus fucked everyone.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Power comes back on. Commentary dead. Commentary was in and out for the rest of the show. It was bad.
But Mike, you know what the best part is? Ken Anderson's microphone didn't work.
Oh, that was the greatest thing ever.
Boo!
No, he sucks. Shut up.
You suck.
I heard the best match on the show was the Aries match with Richards, and they put no work into that match, and it was still better than every fucking match on that card. That's what I heard from some people, including Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer.
I would say that's a bit unfair on Storm Magnus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Storm Magnus took a little too longer than he should have.
Yeah. It took went on a bit long, but it was not like it was awful.
If you avoided all the production issues, it was probably a salvageable match.
Well,
Wasn't even.
the finish wasn't too salvageable. The finish was horrible.
No, the finish was pretty bad.
Who won?
Storm.
Storm. Pete
It was
Magnus.
too, it
Even
was too,
even after going after and nearly murdering Mickey James.
Well, see, before the match, Greg, they had Magnus cut a promo about how love conquers hate. Yeah.
love stories.
Love stories, because you're not allowed to be angry as a babyface anymore.
So why didn't the babyface get? Wait,
But
who's
the
the babyface in this story?
Magnus.
Magnus is the babyface.
So why did he go over?
Because he didn't. Here's the
He didn't.
finish. A dual beer bottle shot to the head, and Storm fell on Magnus.
Oh my god.
That was your finish.
Oh my god.
And Magnus kicked out of 3 last calls. So there you go.
Oh, that sounds.
Overbooked.
That sounds
Overbooked
so
mess towards the
bad.
end. Oh, and Bram Matt Morgan, worst no DQ match I've ever seen, is on up there with Bolt MC and Baron Corbin.
There were weapons in this one. Shut up.
Yeah.
There was like 2 weapons in this entire match.
3
There was
weapons.
Oh, 3.
I heard.
Two of them were a chair.
I heard commentators were building up Matt Morgan as like a top prospect coming up in the ranks. Like he hasn't been fucking wrestling for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
It's this is ridiculous.
TNA's dying before my eyes, and it's kind of sad to see.
But are they? We've been saying this for 2 years now, when they've seriously shown signs of just crumbling, and somehow TNA has become the cockroach in the apocalypse, and they haven't fucking died yet.
They're just waiting for the right boot.
They're just waiting for Jeff Jarrett. They're just waiting to bring Jeff Jarrett back into the fold so they can drag him down with them.
Well, I'm hearing a lot of people are saying that TNA is just going to, like, Global Force Wrestling is just going to go in and eat up TNA, and all the TNA history is just going to be moved over to Global Force.
That's great, but you still have Global Force having essentially TNA's history.
Yeah.
And TNA's history is not good.
Let's talk about Global Force for a little bit. How do you guys like the idea of Global Force using the 6-sided ring? Do you think it makes them look just too much about TNA? Because someone made a point online that they realized that the 6-sided ring has a big standing in Mexico. It's used in a lot of the wrestling promotions down there. But in the States, when people see a 6-sided ring, they automatically think of TNA. Is that a bad thing, or do you think Global Force can possibly get over it if they even get a TV deal down and they present themselves on a weekly basis?
It's hard to say at this point. I think the use of the 6-sided ring when you're trying to get a more casual crowd in, because that's what they're doing with this baseball tour essentially.
And no one's been showing up to those tours, mind you. I've seen a lot of photos and a lot of reports, and there'd be 300 to 600 people that would show up to these shows in a big baseball stadium, and they only fill up about 2 or 3 sections.
Yeah, I've seen periscopes of
To be fair, those are minor league stadiums.
but still,
But
that's
still, there's not a lot of people who show up to those shows.
You
It's
have to
really...
You have to figure it's new. You got to get used to it.
No, yeah. They, I bet you a TV deal would help a lot. And did they even announce where they're going to be taping in Vegas? Is there like a planned arena that they're going to be holding it in, or are they doing it at another fucking baseball field? Because I don't think it's
casino?
Is it at a casino?
I think.
Hold on. I got this.
Want to look it up for me, Wes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's at the Orleans.
That's a casino.
Oh, the Orleans Arena.
That's a
It is
casino.
an arena.
It's
Yeah.
an arena and a
Yeah.
casino.
Yeah.
that's an arena in a casino in an arena in Las Vegas.
Yeah. But people complained about the first show. I'm like, dude, it's new. You're not gonna get thousands of people to show up for a debut show.
Well, also,
Especially with the roster that he has.
Well, let's think about their roster. The roster pretty much consists of Ohio Valley Wrestling wrestlers, which is Jim Cornette's fucking small little
Fingertips.
yeah. He fucking loves that promotion to death. Parts of the Bullet Club. I say parts because you don't fucking have Tamatanga and Omega.
I had the
and-
best parts. Or
yeah,
Cody Hall.
Cody Hall.
Ew.
Hey,
Cody Hall. No, Cody Hall's great.
yeah,
Should've
Cody
thought
Hall's
that.
fucking great.
You say the
He's
best
ca-
part. You say the best parts. And you name off all the jobbers.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I don't even consider the best parts to be the main guys anymore.
If you think about if you think about what the Bullet Club has been actually doing in Japan, Gallows and Anderson have been in this weird feud with the Kingdom, where Anderson has been in a love relationship with Maria, where he just gets distracted by her ass all the time. And the Young Bucks are only there for house shows. I can hardly believe that they're going to be on the TV taping. Then you have the OVW guys, and now you're bringing in a bunch of TNA guys. I don't know how anybody can watch this Global for Wrestling and not just see a fucking copy of TNA. If TNA is a WWE light, and Global for Wrestling becomes a TNA light, it's just gonna be the death of them. They need to present something new. They need to do something different. Because if they don't, I don't know how long Jared plans on keeping this thing going. I don't even know how much money he has behind this entire project. You know, you announced all those, fucking people back last year of, the CEOs, and he's going to be part of the board of directors, and the NASCAR guy who ended up being part of the board of directors. I'd like to know where Global Wrestling's getting all this money from. I got no clue.
The government.
The government.
The government bailouts.
It's getting a tax credit
Bail
on
out. $1 million.
$1 million. The new Discovery Channel.
I'm done talking about TNA. Let's talk about some WWE.
Actually, I want to mention one last thing on TNA.
Alright.
For one, because it's kind of important in wrestling kayfabe, which isn't dead.
Which isn't dead.
PWI announced they will no longer recognize the TNA World Title as a world title.
Wait, the what?
PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Oh, because they haven't defended the title and...
Nope, because the TNA World Title means less than the NXT title. Yeah, that's how it's been put.
Well, here's the thing.
This is why I don't look at PWI as a legit magazine, because they're a bunch of retards.
Well, PWI should, in all cases, be considered a kayfabe professional wrestling magazine. They should not be considered anything news breaking or anything. That's why I think John stated it in the kayfabe term. The thing is, TNA actually defends their belt in Europe a lot, while it's just in London, once a year or so. NXT has just broken out into Japan, and they've even yet to have that event. That event is going to happen in the morning and on July 4th, which I'm hopefully going to stay up and watch if I'm not that fucking plastered.
Why are you going to be plastered at 5:30 on a Saturday morning?
Because I'm going on a party on July 3rd.
Do you know what, you guys, America's a fucking weird country.
Because there's going to be a
Just
bunch of...
figuring that out now.
There's going to be a bunch of fireworks on July 3rd, and I'm going to a friend's house who's pretty much right next to the fireworks, and we're just going to fucking party it down. So anyways, I don't know why I brought it up.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say the TNA heavyweight title is bigger or smaller than the NXT title, but sooner or later it'll get to that point. Once the NXT Championship is defended in a different country rather than Japan, once they hit Mexico or if they hit something else,
They're
then
gonna
you
hit
could...
Europe within the next year.
Are they?
I think that's pretty much stated at this point.
Okay. I mean, once that happens, I would agree with that statement, but I wouldn't agree with it right now.
It was also just funny to see the response from some of the TNA faithful.
Oh yeah.
Like Bully Ray point blank called the PWI magazine a piece of trash.
Oh wow.
as even I did.
I like to know. I wonder if it's gonna be one of those situations like what happened with WCW, where everybody was defending WCW to its death. Everybody in the company was defending WCW to its death. But once it died, they all came out and said, "Oh yeah, that was a sinking ship to begin with. Like it was gonna die, and I hated my time being there." Because it always seems every time something bad comes out about TNA, these wrestlers have to come out and defend it. And it's so heartbreaking to see them defend it, because I can't imagine that they're happy to be there in the first place.
Yeah, that's their employer. They have to be positive.
Yeah.
Well, see, there's only like 3 people that ever seem to defend TNA. It's John Gubrick, it's Rockstar Spud, and it's Bully Ray. Those 3 collectively just go around defending TNA.
Does Bully Ray still defend them?
Yeah, well, he's back in TNA.
Is he?
Yeah. He's the new authority figure. Spoilers, that
Is
comes next
he?
week. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Spoiler alert.
Who gives a fuck?
Also, Dixie Carter comes back next week.
I guess that
As a babyface.
Oh god. They did this
I hate
before.
everything.
It didn't work last time, trying to make her as a babyface. It's not gonna work now. Alright.
Hey guys, Bully Ray versus Dixie. That's what we're
Let's move on to some WWE news. We got a lot to talk about. Let's start with some NXT news. Triple H announced that there's going to be a NXT SummerSlam show I'm thinking on that Friday before SummerSlam. I'm not sure if he's announced it yet. He announced that he's going to make the announcement
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, which is pretty much
confirmed to be this one thing.
Yeah, it's confirmed to be the NXT show. That's a big news. They've already had shows in New York, Brooklyn areas, so just returning there, I think they're gonna have a lot of great fans showing up to that show. Hopefully, it's a bigger venue than what they usually book. Other news: WWE signed a wrestler from Brazil.
Brazil.
Cesar Bononi. Here, I'll link you guys an Instagram photo of him so you get a good look. I thought this guy reminded me a lot of an Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto.
Apparently.
That's it. That's not Del Rio.
Apparently, he worked a tryout back in January. With a bunch of big, Southern American wrestlers, big stars from down there. He worked for the Brazilian Wrestling Federation using the name V8 Big Block. That was his name. Other NXT news: Blue Pants wrestled a show last week against a house show against Sasha Banks. So they're booking her for their house shows. That's good.
She's probably being very soon. It seems like.
You think they're gonna hire her soon?
Well, they seem to want to keep using her.
Yeah, and they need to bring in more girls once Sasha and with Becky injured, she's gonna be out for a few weeks. Bayley's injured. Charlotte's gonna be moving up to the main roster. Sasha's gonna sooner or later lose her title, and she's gonna be moved up.
Emma is still there, but Emma.
It's Emma,
Donna
but
still green. She's getting better.
And they have yet to.
I hate the NXT crowd for chanting, Donna can't wrestle."
Well, she can't.
I mean, she can.
I mean, she can't. She's not that. She's very green.
She's very green. She's not like she's dog shit awful.
She can do a. She can do a move, but she cannot tangibly string together a match. That is just not in her ability right now, and you can say that damn same thing for Carmella. I actually like Carmella in the ring, but beyond her ability, she cannot string together a wrestling match, and I know the same thing for Dana Brooke. You could teach these women how to do moves. That's one thing of teaching them moves, and another thing of actually putting a match together and feeding off the crowd of what they want to see. You know that's I think that's what those girls need to work on the most. They
Yeah.
need to learn how to put a match together because you cannot rely on these indie wrestlers to be there for that long. As you could already see that they only have a short period of time on NXT before they ever get brought up to the main roster.
If it ever happens.
A little bit of other NXT news. This has evolved with the current World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. Did you hear about this, John? Seth Rollins was banned from music festivals.
Does this really count as news?
I want to talk about this because this is hilarious to me. So, as y'all know, when Seth Rollins had his nude pictures leaked last year...
Greg, I'm going to cut you off right now.
What?
That story's false.
What do you mean it's false?
I mean, the band did not ban Seth Rollins.
What?
Alright, explain to me what's wrong with it.
The band just point blank didn't ban Seth Rollins. I don't think the band were there at all. I think they just banned him because it was a joke.
Do it!
Don't do that, Hunter. Don't do that.
Calm down, Shia LaBeouf.
Live your dream, John.
Yesterday I said tomorrow. I understand. Just shut up.
So, well then, I'm just gonna report really quickly on what happened.
Are you
what's
reporting,
the
Hunter?
situation? Apparently Seth Rollins was banned from some music festival. Some user named Steamified on Squared Circle stated that
shitty name.
Stated that the new NXT chick that Seth Rollins fucked around with, Zara, was in a serious relationship with Chad Rolling, the lead for the Fallen Dreams. Seth received
Jesus
a number of
Christ.
serious death threats over it, and so when he saw the threat, it didn't shock him. I guess it could definitely be false. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. It's people just creating rumors, but it was interesting just to see Seth Rollins being banned from this music festival.
Greg, can I say something real fast?
What, Wesley?
Can I say something real fast?
Of course.
What a shitty band name. This is just
For
a
the
story of
Fallen
shit
Dreams.
name. Jesus Christ. Just call
Hey,
yourself
he's
fucking
getting
Sad
it in,
Sack
though.
Waterfall. Get it over with.
He's not getting it in anymore.
Who here watched Tough Enough? Or here has been watching Tough Enough?
I
watched it.
I watched.
Ask me how it
Tough
was.
Enough was on.
I watched episode 2 up until the
It was real
vote
shitty.
off.
I didn't like anyone who wrestled. They're
No
all
one wrestled
a bunch
on
of
the
whiny little babies.
No one
This
wrestled on
girl
the
is crying for half an episode because she misses her husband.
That's Total Divas.
No, you're wrong. There is a chick on there.
Yeah, there's a woman named Diana who cried
can't-
because she misses her fiance.
I've completely just toned out most of the women. Apart from the lesbian UFC fighter.
I just want to point out.
Is that John?
What's that, Wesley?
How are you going to be a wrestler if you can't even freaking be on the road without missing your husband and breaking down crying?
Wasn't she the one who took the horrible back? Wasn't she the one who took the horrible back bump off the platform?
She's the one that she's the one that hesitated for the longest time.
Yeah, and then she took the worst back bump imaginable.
And then she somewhat cheated during the swamp race because she
somewhat cheated
because she took the grass all like halfway down.
Yeah, she cheated. That's not somewhat. She cheated.
So
halfway cheat.
Let me ask you guys who are you enjoying right now? And I'll get your opinions on the show after it. But who do you think who do you like right now as possible winners or hirees?
Oh, winners. Anyone that isn't Patrick or CZ.
Yeah, I don't see the ZZ guy.
You don't like Patrick?
I know, Greg. I love them.
Okay.
They won't win.
Oh yeah.
That's the issue I'm having here.
I don't see the ZZ guy winning.
He needs to be in the show for as long as possible is the other issue, though.
The thing is that they revolve it a lot around fan voting, and so he's getting a lot of the popular votes. which
Yeah.
is which is good, but it depends on sooner or later. Because as you guys don't know, Tough Enough is being produced solely by Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn.
Oh, that's
Apparently,
going to be spoiled in the next weeks.
apparently they actually missed last week's Raw to go and produce and set up the first episode of Tough Enough.
That would explain why last week's Raw was... Wait, which week is last week's Raw? The week just gone or the week before that?
Last week.
Last
in
week.
last week.
Yeah.
As in physically last week.
Physically last week.
So the 22nd
Yes.
Raw.
The week of where Lesnar got destroyed.
That explains why that Raw was decent.
Slightly better. The finish was a lot better than... Because I actually watched that week, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't a surprising show, and I bet Vince, still had a lot of say of how that show was going to go.
I'm just going to say the Diana chick is probably going to be in the final three, 'cause she's going to be the heel of the show.
You're going to turn heel, Michael.
Okay, so wait, let me go...
She's going to be the heel of the show because she wants you to hate her.
Let me go around. I first want to get your guys' opinion on who you like on the show, and then I'm going to ask you guys' opinion on the general show altogether. So, Mike, who do you like on the show right now?
I don't have a clear-cut favorite after watching it for 1 week.
Oh, okay.
No
one stood out to you?
No, I do see the Tanner dude as a white version of Roman Reigns.
Are you serious?
So
No,
yeah.
I see that Josh dude being the white version. The tall dude with the fucking arm tattoo, the same fucking arm tattoo as Roman Reigns.
The Tanner dude has an arm tattoo as well,
Does he?
and he has the same cocky attitude. Yeah,
I thought Tanner was more like Rollins than anything.
nah. That Sarah Lee chick that you keep harping on,
Oh, yeah.
she's probably gonna get.
I'm
She's probably gonna get cut.
in love with her.
Pass.
She's probably gonna get cut.
Well, I'm gonna talk about her. She actually made a interesting comment on a Periscope that I ended up watching. That it's interesting, but Wesley, you said you watched Tough Enough, right?
Yes.
Anybody on the show that you particularly like?
Patrick.
Patrick,
The
the one professional wrestler on the show.
Yes.
Yes.
one
The
professional
one
wrestler
that doesn't
on that show.
jump and then fall flat on his face.
Yeah.
So, like a retard.
Jonesy, have you watched it?
Fuck no.
All right. John,
I don't watch shit.
Yeah.
who do you like?
I like Patrick, CC, and Sarah Lee.
Yeah. My big favorites are Sarah Lee, Tanner, and Patrick. Those three they definitely have something there. They definitely have.
Yeah, right. Tanner is a scrawny little piece of shit.
Fuck, Tanner could be so good. The first episode alone, Tanner already showed that he has more charisma than anybody else in that fucking show.
That's not that hard, though. They're all freaking, like,
Yeah.
rocks. They're, like, no personality having motherfuckers in there.
Yeah.
I can just say, after watching Tuesday's episode, I'm not surprised they voted off the bald guy, Alex.
Oh yeah. After he said that he didn't care about the wrestling history.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't care about wrestling. Knowledge is nothing. And I was like, well, you're gone.
I didn't.
'Cause they're not gonna let that happen.
I didn't like the fact that Patrick, nor Daniel Bryan, nor Paige defended the fact that you had to know a lot about the wrestling history to be a professional wrestler.
Well,
They just kind of avoid
Hogan.
Hogan was the only
He
one
did
to
on the
be,
show. He didn't just do it in the voting.
Hogan was the only one to be like in the voting, like, what are you guys talking about? You have to know everything. You gotta know everything from Buddy Rogers. Da 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 da. It was like, yeah, it's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
They...
It was defended on the show, just not in the voting.
Yeah. How about just the general show? I mean, I'm not sure if you guys watched the last Tough Enough back in 2013, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people complaining that because Austin is not the host, there's really something missing from this show.
Yeah.
Well,
more
I'm gonna say
wrestling
this right now.
aspects of it.
I'm going to say this right now, actually. Jericho shouldn't be the host. Instead, The Miz should be the host.
Oh,
Yes.
The Miz would have been much better host. Jericho sounds like a game show host throughout the
Yeah,
entire fucking show.
He's bizarre.
Yeah, he
No.
he does that show bizarre.
You know what they're missing? More wrestling aspect of it.
You're not going to see wrestling experts on.
Yeah, especially with Vince and Dunn running the thing, you're not going to see any wrestling on that show.
They showed the challenge, and then 40 minutes of reality TV. Then
I
5 minutes of back bumps, then the 20 minutes of... I turned it off towards the end because I got bored.
Because ratings have been so abysmal, Vince has called for more skin from the girls. So apparently they shot a couple scenes of the girls shopping at Victoria's Secret, and they're hoping...
I need more titties, damn it!
And they're hoping that if they show these girls... if they show off the girls more, that the ratings will go up more.
That explains why Divas will never have a chance.
Yep.
It's not gonna work.
So, yeah, Tough Enough. I'm enjoying it just because, there are actually a couple people on the show that I enjoy watching, and I hope gets picked up. Oh yeah, let me make a quick point about Sarah Lee. So Sarah Lee on her Periscope stated that she wasn't there for the reality show. She was there for an actual contract tryout, and the reality show was just kind of there to begin with. So apparently there are people there who are getting a legitimate tryout, but they get to be a part of the reality show as well.
Whoa.
Which is pretty much just an extended tryout because you get paid to be on the show in the first place. So my guess is even if Sarah Lee were to be eliminated, they were possibly going to hire her. Like the same situation with Cameron. Cameron was eliminated in 2013, and they ended up hiring her anyways. So I'm guessing it's going to be that same situation. Some of these guys may end up on NXT sooner or later.
Well, that's my reaction.
We're going to talk about WrestleMania 32 plans, and then we'll close out the show because I got to get ready for PWG tickets to go on sale.
Can we talk about the Jericho Big Show thing real fast? Just a quick thing.
Go ahead, because I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Apparently on Jericho's... Are you done?
Go, Wes.
Okay, apparently on Jericho's podcast, he had, of course, Big Show on there. And Big Show had some not very kind words for the Monster Factory, which is a wrestling school, and it's most notably known for Blue Meanie, the Headbangers, because they worked basically during the 90s there. And Big Show said all they had me do was run the ropes, and I paid them $5,000. Okay, so Monster Factory, the guy who owns Monster Factory, came out and said this is complete bullshit because. I was there. He paid $3,000, and he barely worked.
And
All
also,
he did.
WCW paid for most of his $3,000.
Yep.
Yeah, and I imagine Show would have had a big ego by then because he was already a World Heavyweight Champion.
By the time he went to Monster Factory, yeah.
Yeah. He was already a former World Heavyweight Champion. He was working with guys like Hogan and Nash and all of them. So I imagine that he walked in with a big ego, thinking that he didn't need to do any of that stuff. I'd imagine. I can't speak for the big guy.
Yeah, and so he basically called the Monster Factory crooks, and that they will steal your money if you go there. They will take $5,000 out of your pocket. And so the Blue Meanie came out and said, hey, this is bullshit. You can ask the Headbangers. And they came out and they were like, yeah, he's a fucking liar. So, straight up on Twitter. It was wonderful.
Oh, that sounds great. I missed it.
Yeah. So Chuck Sloan.
Oh, okay,
Chuck Sloan was a trainer at the Monster Factory during the time. And he actually said, yeah, Big Show didn't want to get in the ring to do anything. And he was lazy. And apparently... every time he showed up for workouts and stuff, he would bring 15 people with him that weren't even there to do anything.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. And they're calling him out on saying that, I guess during his DVD that he made a few years ago, or the biographical DVD, that he said the first time that he trained was with Triple H at the power plant.
Which is
and not
also
the Monster Factory.
Which is also false.
Yeah, so Yeah, Big Show's in deep shit with all of the Philadelphia wrestlers. So
Which sucks
and everybody
because
who's basically trained there.
I really like the Monster Factory. They got a lot of young, nice prospects down there, and I think they find a lot of interesting, unique guys that they find around those local areas, and they make, something out of them. A lot more than a lot of the other smaller, independent local wrestling promotions do. I think they have a great track record in creating some legitimate stars.
Yeah.
So you're saying we're not gonna get the Big Show versus the Blue Meanie and the Headbangers at SummerSlam?
Nope.
If that happens, I'll mark out.
Really quickly, this is coming out from Wrestling Observer, I believe.
Oh God.
Here we go.
WrestleMania 32 main event plans and a possible 2016 WWE Hall of Famer. We'll just cover this and then we'll close out the show. Let me make sure that the recording's still happening. It is.
That's a joke. You were never recording.
I fucking hate myself if that happened.
I'd log off.
Podcast issues could not happen.
I'd log off. Let's see you.
Vince McMahon reportedly has decided on the top 6 matches for next year's WrestleManias.
Oh, boy.
Already, huh?
6 matches. We don't know specifics yet, but Wrestling Observer newsletters
Swerve.
We have nothing
Swerve.
set in concrete.
notes that Daniel Bryan is not figured into those plans because there's still no word on if he'll be able to wrestle. Apparently, Sting versus Undertaker is not happening next year, after all. Vince is said to be negative on the idea of that match, but WWE still has other plans for Sting coming up. Sting is also a possibility for the 2016 WWE Hall of Fame, as he lives in the Dallas area right now. It is also said that John Cena's match for WrestleMania 32 is a lock, but we don't know his opponent yet. Vince is reportedly looking...
Opponent.
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 Is
Opponent.
that like ammonia?
Greg, I'm not saying Cena versus Cesaro. I'm saying Cena versus Cesaro.
Vince is
Cesaro
reportedly looking at doing Rock and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, or two single.
Hey guys, remember that one thing that happened at WrestleMania?
Or-
We're gonna make that a thing.
or 2 single matches with the same competitors, or just Rock and Triple H as the main event. Obviously, there are several factors in trying to make those matches happen.
Is the main event.
Hey guys, we're still stuck in 2000.
Obviously, there are several factors in trying to make those matches happen, and the Observer pointed out that Rock and Rousey's bosses, Dana White, are in more control of the main event than Triple H is.
The Rock's not the shit. Dana White's not the Rock's boss.
Or, point out that The Rock and Ronda Rousey's boss. So, not The Rock's boss, Dana White, of course not. So, apparently people who are, apparently a wrestler and a promoter, and the promoter of UFC has more control over the main event than Vince does.
Than Triple H.
Because he's so fixated in having this one main event.
It's gonna suck.
Not gonna be good.
Now, some people are trying to get together on what they could possibly be the matches. People are still saying the Shield Triple Threat is a big possibility of being for the World Heavyweight Championship. They got ideas that Cena could either be wrestling Hogan. There's some rumors that they may actually go for the match, and Cena is actually would work the match if they presented it to that. Hogan would still have to pass a health exam.
So wait a minute.
That won't happen.
Wait a minute.
Which probably will not happen.
Let's
Hold
everyone
on.
back up. Cena's going loose?
They want to do Cena.
Never mind. Go ahead.
They want to do Cena Hogan. The one can't walk.
The leg drop, brother.
One can't sell. Over Undertaker Sting, which both men can walk, and that's a moneymaker.
Another match that is possibly rumored.
That just boggles my mind.
Another match that's possibly rumored is John Cena Undertaker.
Remember it?
Why?
That's just too late.
Too old.
Well, it doesn't matter now because the streak's over. So
Get the mic out of your mouth.
it doesn't matter because the streak's over. So
Don't worry, I can't wait for Sting Bray Wyatt. Where Sting beats Bray Wyatt.
Sting will lose again.
Oh, that's true. What happens if Bray Wyatt and Sting face each other? Shits.
Hey guys, we're gonna sign Sting and have him lose all his matches. Because
Oh,
it'll
one
all
of them.
WCW.
But think about it. If they book The Rock, if they book
Mike.
Triple H, if they book Brock Lesnar, if they book Sting, if they book Undertaker, you have technically the top 6 matches, or at least the top 5 matches on the card being filled up by
Part-timers.
part-timers, which would regulate a lot of the actual main roster to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Well,
Like you, Sean.
I can't wait to see all those young and up-and-coming stars in a battle royal that doesn't even matter.
Mm.
And it'll be on the pre-show.
What's a Big Show wins it again?
Oh God!
What if Becky Lynch wins it?
What if Draws wins it?
That'd be surprising. He can't walk.
He can't move his arms either.
Why was it just a big
Let's have
swerve?
paralyzed people wrestle.
I was
What
just-
if Andre the Giant won?
He comes back from the dead to win.
Yeah, Vince McMahon just built
Eddie.
a robot body.
It's Benoit's back from his vacation.
All right,
My God.
let's wrap up the show because it's getting
Yeah, it's time for wrestling night, people.
it's getting very close to the time the PWG tickets go on sale, and I need to.
Yes, yes, in 58 minutes.
Shut up, John.
Guys, it's so close, guys. 58 minutes.
A brother
my
needs to
God.
eat. A brother needs to make dinner before and get settled before this happens.
How long does it
You're
take
not
you to
fucking
eat?
black.
You
You're
need- you
fucking
need to
Puerto
get-
Rican.
58 minutes, apparently.
Well, I gotta cook, so it's gonna at least take 20 minutes to get the
Greg,
food
just go to
prepared.
Whataburger. We all know you're gonna go to Whataburger, Greg. Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Guys,
no
we have to
what?
cook.
There's no Whataburger around here, you fat piece of shit.
You need.
I'm actually 10% body fat right now, so I got my dick, bitch.
Would you like to say that in English, please?
Yo soy 10%.
All right, pop, flop, and botch
That's not
time.
English.
Hunter, you
It's
go
gonna be
first.
English.
My pop is that, you know what? I'm quitting my job this week that I hate, so that's great. My flop goes to the 4th of July. I don't have a cabin anymore, so, you know,
No, was it
can't go
burned
up to
down?
my cabin anymore.
Did it burn down?
No, it didn't get burnt down in the Baltimore riots, Mike. It didn't.
No, that was totally 3 months ago.
Mike went to your house and burned it down.
Mike, is
I'm
there still
upset.
like a loner rioter who's like still protesting
Probably.
on the street? He's like,
Probably.
I ain't getting over that.
Probably. 'Cause there's somebody down in the city right now, screaming and crying and complaining.
Okay,
Kicking
well,
at-
that's my
kicking at
and my
sidewalks
botch goes
advertisements.
to my dog won't leave me alone right now. Lola, get out of my room.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Lola,
Awesome.
please leave.
This is. Do you talk to other girls like that?
I talk to all my dogs like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Shut up, bitch! Get out of here.
you're in my space.
Wow, Jonesy, that's too far. You can't do that.
Well,
Yeah.
is she a bitch?
She is.
Okay, then there's nothing wrong with that.
You just took it too far, Jonesy. You just took it too far.
Yeah, one.
Hard.
You just crossed the line, Jonesy. You don't go over that, you know.
No, you just tell the Greg to punch her.
Yeah, exactly. Greg Puncher. Okay, Wesley, it's time for your pop, lob, and botch.
Cool, thanks, Hunter. My first pop goes to me quitting my job and becoming a t-shirt breeder.
A teacher
What?
breeder? The fuck is a teacher breeder?
I said a
Breeds
t-shirt breeder.
teachers.
Wait,
Breeds
Breed
teachers.
t-shirts, bro.
Listen, listen, Wes. I'm gonna cut you off right now. I'm going on a story time. See, Greg, a teacher breeder. They find wild teachers out in the jungles, and they bring them into America. But they have to educate them. They have to
Sounds
teach
like
them
slavery.
English.
but then they end up molesting the children and they get deported back out.
Hey,
Like slavery.
Greg, I said t-shirt.
So all teachers are
It's a
slaves.
very-
I never.
It's a very noble,
They are.
noble position. I'm just kidding. My pop goes to Love and Mercy. The story about Brian Wilson, the guy, the lead singer from the Beach Boys, is super good. If you like indie movies, go see it.
Isn't he
If
super
you don't
dead?
like indie movies, don't go see it.
Is it a documentary?
No, it's no,
No.
What
it's just a movie.
No.
Who's playing Brian Williams? Or
Brian Williams.
Brian Wilson.
Okay.
Brian Wilson. Sorry, I
That was
flubbed a
It's
little bit.
John Cusack and some other dude whose name I don't know,
Really?
but it has a lot of good people in it.
Shag.
So,
Oh my.
'Cause I've been
my
looking for a
other-
Beach Boys documentary.
But it's not a documentary,
my-
it's an actual movie.
It's really fucking.
yeah, it's an actual movie.
I'm gonna slap a bitch.
About the life of Brian Wilson and how he spent 3 years in a bed, staring at the ceiling. My
Please.
other pop.
I love Life of Brian. It's my favorite.
He's
one of my
not
favorite-
dead. What was this too soon bullshit? He's not dead. My other pop goes to Batman Arkham Knight. That game is super awesome, and I was right about who the Arkham Knight actually was. So suck it, nerds.
Is it the Joker? It's the Joker.
no.
It's the Joker.
No
It's the Joker.
spoilers. No spoilers.
Yep, it's
Or is it the Joker?
Spoiler alert.
No
It's the Joker.
spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Pop.
It's John Cena.
It's Kevin Owens. He comes out of a dark freaking alley and then power bombs the shit out of you. Hot flop. My flop goes to Mike. Because I don't
You,
know,
Mike.
Mike's. You, Mike. My pop, my flop, my botch. My botch goes to Minecraft with John today. John,
fuck you.
Wait, Minecraft with John?
Yeah.
John, why didn't you
John-
invite
Why didn't
Minecraft
you tell me
today?
about this? I would have hurried home and played with you guys.
Because
Me and John were actually it was Fallout. It wasn't Minecraft. We were doing Fallout mods. And we were testing them out, and it just was not working. So it was the stupidest thing.
I couldn't get New Vegas to load on my laptop at all today.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I want to play it too. So I got on there and I'm like, oh, I want to install some mods. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's like Star Wars. And it's like, nope. So
No, it doesn't work at all.
and like we did well for like 2.5 hours, and then then I realized I was like, oh, my computer stopped running. So, well, but yeah, that was that.
That was our day.
Yep.
Sounds like fun.
it sounds like you all had a fun play date.
Jonesy, your
Yeah.
turn.
What happens when you have friends, Mike?
I do have friends.
What are
I just
friends?
don't talk to any of them.
What the fuck?
Jonesy, your turn.
I tend to shut people out of my life.
Yep.
Pop goes to, I guess, 4th of July. I don't know. America.
Or
Yeah, Confederate flag, motherfuckers. Gonna wave it all day and all night.
Jesus.
and then get
Christ.
shot. Oh wait,
Then get arrested.
There's nobody in Wyoming, so you're good.
I'll go to the mountains and put them on every single mountain. I claim this for the Confederacy.
The South will rise again.
The South will rise again.
South Wyoming.
Listen, as someone who lives in the South,
Shut up.
What?
Shut up.
In the south of England.
yeah, I do.
My flop. My flop goes to. It's been like 90 degrees constantly for the past week or so.
90 degrees. That must be awful.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Well, at least we've gotten rain, so.
Yeah.
Ooh, got him.
I like rain, don't you guys?
Me too.
Yeah.
I like some heavy rain.
Fire.
What's this liquidy stuff?
It's stuff Greg's never seen, so.
Oh.
Greg's seen it several times this year.
Well, it usually comes from the sky.
When he
I
cried,
mean, it rained a little bit, but that was because it was really humid.
It rained for like 2 seconds.
How long
And then
did
it all,
rain
and then it all evaporated.
Yep, it evaporated
It's
or hit the
true.
ground.
It's true.
How
Before it hit the
shitty
ground,
does your
exactly.
yard look right now? Does it look like a big piece of poo?
What?
Your grass is probably dead right now, dude. You don't
No,
have nice green grass anymore.
Because we fertilize it. So it's green as shit.
It's not green, don't lie.
You
It
shit on your
is.
yard.
You need water to
Yeah, we fucking sprinkle it. What's your fucking...
You can't
Well,
do
you're-
that in
you're
California.
going-
That's
you're
against the
going to
law.
You're going to jail.
We do-
You're going to jail.
We-
Greg,
we-
I'm calling the cops on you.
right now.
Alright,
You're going
fucking
to
do it.
Isn't there a ban still on water?
What?
On how much water you can use?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to jail.
That's why we cut it tremendously. We only sprinkle our lawn at 3 o'clock in the morning so the water doesn't evaporate. We only water it for like...
Who gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning to water their lawn?
What? It's
He stands outside with a hose, just sprays.
it's called
water on-
sprinklers, you little pieces of shit!
I just imagine Greg outside.
Finish up your fucking pop-up, boss! We got this goddamn podcast over with!
That guy's in a
Greg,
lawn.
I'm gonna drive to California. So they're
I'll end it! Watch me!
Well, we know how to push Greg's buttons from now on, don't we?
God damn it! I can't breathe. Sounds like every fucking angry parent I've ever heard on a road trip. I'll pull this car over. I swear to God.
Greg, why don't you use sprinklers?
So you have
My
like
face
your
hurts.
sprinklers timed or something?
My face hurts now.
Is
Oh,
it-
I'm not done yet, am I?
no.
My my thoughts is for Greg for taking so much time up.
John, go.
Oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
It is 3 o'clock in the morning. Thanks for noticing. My bulb goes to a
Where's my hose?
conversation that just happened. My blob goes to Greg for not owning sprinklers.
What fucking idiot thinks I go out at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning with a goddamn hose and just stand there watering fucking grass? Who fucking does that?
My bulb. And my butt goes to...
Oh, it hurts.
My butt goes to Greg's grass. I can't think of anything anymore.
So like at 3 a.m. is it just like everyone watering their lawn at
It's just one big sprinkler party.
Hey, Greg. Hey, John.
like are the cholos down the street like hey Holmes, you got to sprinkle your lawn last night.
My pub goes to PWG tickets go on sale in less than 40 minutes.
47 minutes.
47 minutes. 46 minutes. So I'm very excited. Hopefully I get the fucking tickets. I will get the tickets. Last
You won't get the tickets.
time I bought the tickets, they sold out in 5 minutes. So hopefully, if I get there, if I'm like the first person to load the page and I get it through the PayPal, I could buy them. My flop goes to I don't know. Fuck you, all of you. We're done. Podcast over.
I
Thank
didn't
you,
do mine.
everybody.
I didn't do mine yet.
What?
Greg. Does your fuck you go to us this week?
Yes, my salty fuck you goes to you guys.
I didn't get to do mine yet.
Alright, Mike, go.
My pop goes to my foot, which is getting better by the day. My flop,
Do you have diabetes?
no. I had a broken
Nah,
bone in my
wait
foot.
just cut it off, Mike.
I had a broken bone in my foot.
And eat it.
Yeah.
My flop goes to
Is your new
PC.
gimmick Kamala?
yes. My flop goes to the PC port of Batman Arkham Knight. LOL PC Master
Haha.
Race.
Suck a dick, nerd.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Mike. You asshole.
Welcome to the
Something
future.
that's PC. Something that's PC.
Welcome to the future, Greg.
You would be
Yep.
pissed off if the game played like that on a goddamn Wii U.
And I wouldn't play it if it did. I wouldn't.
Well, you don't play
complain-
video games in general, so who gives
I
a shit
wouldn't
what you
complain about
say?
it either. And my bot goes to Greg for
Watering his plants.
watering his plants at 3 in the morning.
Guys, can we?
Speaking
hurry
of which,
this up?
I do have to water
got-
plants, so let's
please.
fucking hurry up. Thank you for joining the Other Wrestling Podcast. I've been your host, Greg. You know where to catch us over at www.twitter.com/for wrestling. Also, go check out senshooter.tv, the home of the Arc of Wrestling Podcast, as well as guys like New Legacy Inc. and the Training Main. That is senshooter.tv, SCNSHUDO.tv. All the links will be down below. You can click them down and enjoy all that shit. I have been your host, Greg, and thank you for joining us. Does anybody have any last words?
Are fuckers shooting off fireworks outside already?
Happy Gay America, everybody!